Okay, so what you're going to do now is you are going to open up your Prim journey, and on after challenge 5.2 you'll come to this slide here which shows you a link to Python Trinket, also known as Python Turtle, and this is what we're going to be using to best demonstrate how effective for loops can be when it comes to time saving, basically. You're going to control and open up the Python Trinket link, but you're also going to write in these 3 lines of code, and these 3 lines of code are essential. If you don't write these 3 lines of code in, and you don't write them in perfectly, your code will not work. So that's the first thing you've got to do, is write those 3 lines of code in. And once you've done it, it'll look something like this. So now I'm going to show you the effectiveness of a for loop. Now we can simply type in commands like this. Now I've called my little character Arrow, but of course you can call your character what you want. And we can give the character commands like so. I can go arrow.forward, and the arrow will go forward 100 pixels. I can go arrow.left 90 degrees, and that will make it go forward, but then turn 90 degrees. I can then iterate myself by going arrow.forward like so, 100, arrow.left, another 90, arrow, and I also want you to bear in mind the time that this is taking for me to write out this program. And the mistakes I'm also making. I'm human, I will make these mistakes, but this is all part of the Trinket experience. So far we've got, let's see, forward, left, we need another arrow dot left 90 degrees, and then another arrow dot 100 like so, and we should have our square. Fantastic. Now I didn't have my timer running, but I'm assuming it would have taken me then at least over a minute, which is far too long. So instead of drawing this square line by line like I've just done it in its sequence, instead I'm going to create a for loop. Okay, so we've successfully created our square. Now I'm going to show you the power of the for loop. So I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit. I'm not going to delete any of that code there. You'll still see it. But I'm now going to, let's say, replace this square with a new one. Now to show you that the square is being replaced with another square, I'm just going to quickly go arrow dot color like so. Notice the American spelling there, and then let's change it to red like so. Now I'm going to create the exact same program I just wrote a moment ago, but this time I'm going to use a for loop to do that. I'm going to go for, I'm going to call my variable square because, well, this is the code to create a square in the first place. For square in range, and it's a square. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, so I want it to iterate 4 times. Then I'm going to create my sequence of instructions. I want my arrow to first of all go left 90 degrees, and the 90 degrees comes from this 360 divided by the amount of sides the shape has. So as it is a square, it's 360 divided by 4, and that gives me my 90. If we was creating a triangle here, it will be 360 divided by 3, and that would of course be 120. So for a triangle, the degree angle would be 120. I'm going to then move on to my next instruction, forward, arrow dot forward, there we go, and of course the 100 pixels remains the same. So I have now just saved myself a lot of time, because essentially that is the program written there. Now let's just see if it does the same thing. There's the original, and there is my second. You can see it was nice and quick. Both programs ran the exact same speed, but of course the time it took me to write both programs was completely different. This one took me well over a minute, while this one took me under 20 seconds. Using for loops saves you time. There is the evidence. I also shown you the amount of mistakes I made when I was creating this program here. Again, with this one, I made maybe one mistake, It was a quick fix and it's done. So the time taken to fix errors is also minimalized as well by using for loops. And there we go. That is your task today. You are tasked to create a range of different shapes. If you go back onto the Prim journey, all you need to do, square is the first one, but then you can work your way through the challenges in today's lesson. They do get significantly harder, but do not give up. Be resilient, and eventually you'll be creating shapes like this. So all the best and good luck.